Hey guys, Miranda Manticos here. Okay, got a message for you guys. Actually, I have 3 messages. We'll see if I can get those videos done today. But this is the first one, and so I wanted to really get it done, okay? Because it's been coming up, I guess, for about a week now. Okay, so I have 3 paintings I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to pull the message together from Spirit, okay? So, and by the way, I'll try to remember to put it at the top of the screen here. I'm going to put my website at the top, okay? On my website, you'll find a list of so many things. All of my services that I offer at the spa, but I also offer services on Zoom. And I'm going to have a new link uploaded. I don't think it's there yet. I just sent it over to the website designer. But there will be a link soon for memberships. You can go to that link, and it's going to give you a link to the school app through Google. And I have it ready. Sorry, guys, my phone's alarming things. And on the app, you'll be able to join my membership, okay? And I have it set for $44 per month for 4 one-hour sessions, which these will be group sessions, okay? In these sessions, my goal for these sessions is to do a fusion of things. Number 1, Q&A, okay? Questions that you may have for spirit or for the higher self or even for the extraterrestrial and interdimensional beings, okay? So I will pull from my experience with hypnosis, my experience as a psychic, and I'm also going to be showing you guys how to connect to your own team, your own spirit team, to get more information. So if you're an already developing psychic, this class will be good for you. If you're a new developing psychic, this will be good for you. And if you're just a regular person, which we all are, who is just curious, why are we seeing these craft in the sky? Why are the cosmos changing? Why does the sun look different? Why does the moon look different? All these questions. This is going to be something for you, okay? It's going to help you really start to connect, okay? This is a technique that really worked for me personally, and that's why I was really called by Spirit to become a hypnosis practitioner. And I offer several different types of hypnosis, some in person, like QHHT, which is a much longer process, but for deeper sessions for people who need healing or who have deeper trauma, right? And I also offer group sessions, which I feel like are kind of a fusion of things, and couples hypnosis, okay? Which can really help you understand each other better as a couple and grow and progress, okay? So, all right, that being said, here we go. The first message. And you guys may hear my kids in the background. They are doing school right now. So you might hear a little pitter-patter of feet and noises. Okay, so I'm going to hold these up. So this is the first one, okay? And I'm going to try, hopefully you can see it at this angle. Hold on one second. Okay, so when I'm painting with spirit, okay, I'm literally in a state of trance, okay? And so I'm just literally, it's coming out through my hands, onto the palette of what Spirit is showing me. And usually it will start coming through like a message, and then they'll start showing me symbols. Like the dragon I just did the other day, I posted it. I'll repost him. His name is Kaya. He's a water dragon. He is so beautiful. And he just came through. He kept showing me himself. I would look at the canvas, and I'm talking about for weeks, you guys. I would look at the canvas, and he would be there. And I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. Let's do it. And I finally started working on him, and he's so beautiful, okay? So these water beings are really, really connecting with us right now. They're trying to communicate with humans so that they can help us, okay? So this one, okay, so I guess I need to do a video on Kaya, the dragon, the water dragon. But for now, we'll start with these, okay? So it's kind of maybe difficult for you to see in this light, but this is kind of like a mother, father, child. So she's kind of in blue, he's in green, and the child's in the center, okay? I call this my version of the Holy Family, which can mean different things to different people. For me, it represents a spiritual concept, okay? that my guides have taught me. Mary Magdalene being my primary guide, Yeshua and her together, as well as Thoth the Atlantean. He is one of my primary guides, and the Hathors of Egypt, as well as the Pleiadians, which sometimes those are the same beings, you guys, because they'll tell me, they're like, it's the same. Okay. So, so there's another painting, I'm going to bring it forth, that works with this one, which for most people, I think, if they saw mother, father, child, they would think the Holy Family, right? But for me, it represents sacred union, which is a spiritual concept that my guides taught me that happens within us all when we're ready, okay? This symbol in light language is another symbol they taught me, which represents the coming together of the divine child, okay? So, one side of the energy representing the female energy, another representing the masculine energy coming together to create the divine child, okay? I'm going to show you two more because I have a drawing I need to show you as well, okay? This is another representation that Spirit gave me of sacred union. Do you see how there's two beings in one here? You see that? And these just come out like, it's like, I hate to call it an accident, but I'm like just moving. And all of a sudden, the being will be there, okay? So these two represent like the union of Christ union, Yeshua and Magdalene. And them together, the coming of them together, those energies create the divine child, okay? So hold on, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to get you one more diagram. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to just hold this up. I don't know if you guys can see. I know my writing is like not the greatest. I think I'm a better painter than a writer, but do you see the symbol? I want to talk about the symbol, okay? So when I get a download like this, like all of these are downloads, okay? And this just was like the goddess like cracked me wide open and boom, stuff just started coming out, right? All these are downloads that are all communicating a similar message, okay? And I'm going to try to explain it in this diagram. So what God was showing me, okay, was first he said the sacred infinity, right? You see the symbol of infinity? And so I just literally was like drawing what God was saying. Then he says, bring in the goddess, okay? Which is the three here, the goddess, okay? And then he says, bring in the masculine here and the feminine. Like, this is literally what he told me. He's like, bring this triangle up and bring this triangle down, okay? And notice how this center of it becomes the all-seeing eye. Do you see that? Now, there may be people on here who have been taught these things their whole life. Maybe they weren't disconnected from their indigenous culture. Maybe they have been having access to the mystic teachings, which would be amazing if you've had that privilege in your life. That's wonderful. But the reason why I'm saying this is I did not have access to these things. This was directly taught to me from God because I did not grow up in a religion that would have taught me these things. I did not grow up in a culture that would have taught me these things. This is just Spirit talking to me and saying, hey, bring these things together and show everyone this becomes the all-seeing eye, okay? And so, and then this is how God broke it down. I made notes, okay? Past, present, future. The present, you being very present, is the all-seeing eye, okay? Being able to access the past and the future, but being here, okay? And then what he said, let me see if I wrote down, mother energy here, father energy here, past energy here, future energy here, okay? The continuum, ever up and down the spiral of life, ever up and down the spiral of life, the continuum. Each time you pass through the spiral, at any point, you've been there before, every time. But each time you do it with more knowing, more knowledge, more experience, okay? And so this coming together, you see how Spirit wrote, this is who you are, okay? And he wrote again up here, sacred union, divine child, okay? My son told me to write fairy. He said the fairies were helping, and I believe that, I really do. 222, so whoever needs to hear this, I'm saying what I heard from Spirit because I feel like somebody else needs to hear this. These symbols mean something to us becoming, not just rising the serpent, rising that spiritual awareness, like the rising cobra is the awakened serpent, right? But you also have the continuum serpent, right? That goes up and down. And the continuum serpent, that symbol, 1010, as I said this, consumes itself, right? And that has a lot to do with just like knowing oneself, knowing one's light self, knowing one's dark self, like the shadow versus the light, the yin and the yang, the fire and the water. All of that calibration within us creates the all-seeing eye, the divine child, okay? And so this started coming to me years ago. God kept telling me, you are a divine child, you are a divine child. I'm like, okay, what? What do you mean? And there's more. He told me a lot more. I don't share everything on my page because it's not for everyone. That is why I have a private setup for people to have questions and who are really sincere and want to learn. You guys, we could talk about it, okay? What the divine child is and how we come to this within ourselves, okay? But, so look at what he says, okay? Because I want to read you the notes. Everything, okay, everything is information feedback, calibrating in constant motion of interceptors that influence the field of quantum light. 1122, as I said that, okay? So think of it like, oh, and he says, you are like the nucleus of a cell, okay? Where did I put it? From the cell, we create the environment that we live in, okay? So where did I write it? Hold on, you guys. I want to tell you this one thing. Where did I just see it? From the cell. Here we go. The all-seeing eye is divine child, like a nucleus of a cell. Okay, the nucleus of a cell is collecting information at all times. And it has aquaporins in it to receive information, which aquaporins, if you don't know this, I know this from my study of water, because I have a water filtration business for clean water and structured water. But aquaporins will only allow negatively charged ions into the nucleus of the cell. This is why tap water and any positively charged water cannot penetrate the cell properly. You'll only get like 20% of what you drink is what that means. If you drink water all day long, you technically only absorb 20% unless you electrically charge it to change the polarity to the opposite. Feels like sacred union. And I've said this forever, that the structured water activates the pineal gland. 100%, I know it does. That's why these water machines that we sell in that business, a lot of my clients that have bought these over the years awakened spiritually too, because their pineal gland was decalcified, okay? Anyway, it's a whole nother topic. But does that make sense what God is saying? He's like, you are like a cell, okay? In the body of God. And we're all like all these little micro elements of God, okay? And you're giving and receiving biofeedback all the time into the quantum field. And what you receive is collected information, right? And what you put out is information for the rest of the field to learn from. Calibrating that, and that's what he's talking about here, okay? Is calibrating all of these energies, your masculine, your feminine, your light and your dark, your yin and your yang, is where the cell becomes healthy. Yeah, I'm feeling this a lot, so much for somebody. And oh my God, there's so many messages I could talk about with this, but basically this is where we achieve homeostasis. And homeostasis can be translated spiritually, physically, right? So, and really the two becoming one, because if you are functioning like a cell in the body of God, and you begin to calibrate, and somebody else begins to calibrate, and somebody else begins to calibrate, and somebody else, this is the rise that we're feeling right now, right? We're feeling momentum of many calibrations of many beings happening all at one time. That's going to come to a crescendo, and I've been seeing this for a while in visions, okay? But it happens very much the same way inside your body, okay? And this is why on my page, I continue to talk about how important it is to heal yourself emotionally, and that will automatically help you physically, automatically, 444, as I said that. But the emotional healing and the calibration of how we get information and how we react and how we process what we're learning okay, has a direct effect on the crescendo of how humanity rises, okay? I rise, you rise, that expression, right? That's true. And the more people that calibrate that rise, okay, that sacred union, guys, I mean, it's like an unstoppable force. And I have such a good feeling about it. And God told me, go on and bring all these paintings together. Just these, because I do a lot of paintings. As you guys know, I have some of some say Toth, some say Thoth. I have some of Thoth. I have some of like water priestesses, people that are reaching out to humanity, speaking to humanity, whether they know it or not. Star beings, portals. I have some paintings that are like portals. Guys, so much information is coming through. It is like the floodgates have been opened. If you want to spiritually awaken, if you've ever wanted to in your life, this is the time. So much is available to humanity. The quantum information is there. And I was teaching this to a friend the other day. He was asking me about hypnosis and how it works, and what my opinions are on like whenever they encounter like another life, when I have a client who encounters a past life, or maybe they encounter other beings, or sometimes they'll meet just their guardian angel in a hypnosis session and have a conversation with their guardian angel, which is, those sessions are amazing too, you guys, because for people to see that they actually do have a guardian that is watching out for them, that is guiding them, that is so powerful. Especially to a people who most humans have dealt with feelings of not being safe their whole life. Especially our generation. I think some of the younger ones do a little better with that, right? I think, some of us who are parenting now have done a lot of the work to heal. So we're better parents, like a little bit more stable, but that's not everybody's story, okay? Like there's so many on the planet that don't have safety. So see, finding out that they do have a guardian and that there's going to be a way to navigate this, and that this is leading to something, that there's a purpose in the pain. 1717, as I said that. It's difficult but powerful, and it does work, you guys, okay? So I don't know who needs to hear this, but I feel like a lot of people need to hear this, okay? I'm feeling that this is a message for many people. And these symbols are going to help everyone start making the connections of what your guides are trying to teach you. And that's going to segue into the next video. I'm going to make another video. I'm going to pause this one. The next video is going to be about something my guides told me about piecing information together, okay? To get the clues of what your guides are trying to tell you so that you can make it a complete thought that's understandable, okay? And that will help you pivot and move, okay? So I hope this helps someone. I feel like it's going to make sense to those who need it. And it's going to launch a deeper activation of your light. I feel like this is a very powerful light activation, seeing all of these paintings, these light language paintings, and the symbols that God showed me. And these are the angelics talking, you guys. These are the Seraphim angelics. This is the goddess teaching from within. She is coming from within me through my channel, okay? And so are the higher realms. And that is something, I may make a separate video about this, but that's something she keeps saying. I'm having a release as I'm saying this, and he keeps saying that you need both your father-mother energies. You need your masculine and your feminine. We are not here to fear the father. Because there's distortion about the father, and that's because of false entities, okay? That's not because of actual God, right? False entities that have infiltrated religions have made people fear their godfather, the sky father, okay? But our true father, our true sky father, our true masculine divine is not how he has been represented in religious teachings. Such a loving, loyal being, you guys. Such a loving, loyal presence. Such a great presence exists in this being. Okay? And just really think about it. There's a cover up here. There's a lot of lies, a lot of overlays, a lot of things we're peeling back. Well, don't think that wouldn't be one of them. Infiltrating the system and making people think that God doesn't love them. What a great way to isolate people from God. right? So please, if you're religiously triggered, which I'm not very religious, understand that makes sense. I understand. There's a lot of distortion in religion. There's a lot of distortion in the spiritual community too, okay? What we're trying to do now is peel all of that back. Peel away the things from the spiritual community that we don't need, and peel the things away from the religious community that we don't need to get to the truth. And the truth goes back to this symbol that God showed me, okay? Being present, accessing the past and the present, that's the Akasha, okay? When you get present, you're going to start seeing your past lives. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, yes, it's happened to me. I dream about all my timelines. I have all my life, okay? When you bring in the father and the mother, you love them both, and you realize there was a distortion and that they are not the problem. The intercept was the problem. The programming that tried to intercept and siphon humans, okay? Not this situation here, okay? I think we're going to see major progress when we come to that, and, you know, really healing the God wound and recognizing the possibilities of what we can do with our beautiful home here and our Mother Earth working with us, and just really loving the goddess and tapping into her, but also loving God, loving them both, okay? And just really calibrating that within our heart, okay? So that's that one. I'm going to make the next one, and if I can get the third one out, I'll try to do that today too, okay? I love you guys so much.